Alright, what is up, Jizzlets? Today I am at Yo Soy Sushi and Pizza. So, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to do another food review here at all, because we only got 5 days until we leave. So I'm very excited to go home. Yeah, 5 days to go home. Let's see what I got. I got the P3 mini, which is like a barbecue pizza, and then I got sushi as well, like a roll of like some chicken and something else. I could pull it up maybe on my phone. It is the U31 front and center. Chicken, sesame, cucumber, cream cheese, caramelized onions. Sounds pretty fucking good. And then flip to this page, we got the P3 barbecue pizza. Yeah, I was really trying to do sushi, and I had a place in mind. You know, me and a group of friends went there. It's called like Taikit, something like that. It's a sushi place here. There's 2 locations. But we didn't realize it was only like to go. There's no sit down really to eat, and so that kind of ruined the plans. But the reason why we wanted to try it so bad is because it, like on the sign, it says sushi for non-conformists, and whatever that means. So, sorry, no pasa nada. Gracias. And sushi for non-conformists. We wanted to see what that meant. You know, is this sushi, does that live up to the hype of non-conformity? But yeah, 5 days left. I don't hate the place. I hate Valencia. I don't hate Spain. No, I still love it here. I'm just, you know, ready to be in my own comfort of my own home, my own bed, air conditioning. No air conditioning here for the most part. Hence why I have kitty fan. Shout out Autumn for the kitty fan. Basically a lifesaver, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't check to see what time I ordered the food, but it was only a couple minutes ago. I'm the only one in here, customer-wise. And, you know, places here, you know, you walk in and they just, yo, tell me what you want. Because, you know, they don't really need to do all the stuff for show. One of the workers here just ran out the door, I'm not sure why. Yeah. I also wanted to try a pizza place here, but a lot of them are closed for siesta, which is just afternoon, like, break, you know, nap. They live a much slower pace of life here, but at the same time, it's much more efficient than the U.S. I mean, the U.S. is just bureaucratic bullshit. But yeah, like, after, like, the mini lunch, they do a 2-hour, like, rest period, you know, places close down just for maybe like 2 to 4 hours, and then that's when they do like their big lunch. They have like 5 meals in a day. However, like 2 of them are really just snack. So kind of like the US, I'd say, in a way, but they actually structure their life more around it than we do. Like for us, it's just breakfast when you wake up, lunch when you're hungry again, and then dinner from 6 to 10, usually. Growing up, my family was always at 6 o'clock, but now I realize how early that is. But here, they eat dinner around like 9, 10 at the earliest, but the sun doesn't go down here until like 10:30 at night, so it still feels pretty early. It still feels like midday, rather than in the US where it sets 2 hours prior. And so for that reason, you just kind of feel bummed out sooner. Okay, I got some some topics I want to talk about. Yesterday, luckily, Spain won the World Cup. Huge debut. Not only is it the biggest event in sports, it happens only once. Well, it's not the biggest event in sports, but it's like the biggest singular event. The Olympics is the biggest event, but the biggest singular event is the World Cup. And yeah, it only happens every 4 years, and I just so happen to be in the country that wins it. For the first time in 16 years. The last time they won, I was only 6 years old. Quite young, bastante joven. But yeah, I'll throw in a clip that I took last night. We were... Me and my friends were at Plaza de Ayuntamiento, just the city, like, square, basically. Very touristy, a lot more upkept than the outskirts. Please. Gracias.
En breve traigo la pizza, unos 10-12 minutos, ¿vale?
Claro,
Por favor, buen provecho.
All right. Okay, here is that sushi. He said the pizza's got like 10 more minutes. This actually looks pretty good. I usually like a sauce. I mean, obviously, I have that over there, which I'll use that. But like, usually one on top. But yeah. Yeah, we were in the city square. They had a huge screen propped up. Insanely packed. I've never been in a place that packed, maybe in my whole life, or it's been, a long time. And you'll see in the video. I assume that's ginger. It's almost spicy. I don't know if it is or not because it's like more pale rather than pink, I guess. Jesse requested more being able to see the food, and it's valid. Very valid request because the last food review, it's kind of difficult. I didn't have much space on the table. Okay, first bite. Got some sesame seeds, got the crumbs on top. It really is cream cheesy. Not sure how I feel about this. I'll obviously eat it. But there is a good whop of cream cheese on there. Tastes pretty good. Definitely a little bit different than I'm used to for sushi. I usually go for not cream cheesy things. But yeah, World Cup is packed. Fucking took Spain 3 goals to get even one of them counted. One of them was offsides for sure, but it was just his elbow. I'm like, that's some bullshit. Like, come on, how does that possibly affect the outcome of the goal? Just an elbow? Are we dead ass? And if it was legs or like center body, I'd understand. But that's just a stupid rule. And then, like, the rule's too harsh. Like, it's a good rule, but it's just too harsh the way it is, in my opinion. And then the other goal that wasn't allowed, there was no foul. I mean, that's just Argentina being a bitch. But yeah, I mean, genuinely was so nervous going into that game because I mean, I'm surprised that Spain won, not based off of skill, but because like it genuinely felt like that shit was rigged for Argentina to win. Not yesterday's game, but you know, their other games. And I just went and bought a Spain shirt. I'll pull up a picture of that as well from this store in my neighborhood. And I got a bag of Takis in my bag over here, you know, so we're set. Also just came from class today, which, you know, the first half was with the actual like college here, you know, our kind of like speaking practice class. But the second half was really just a waste of time. That was with my UNT professor. It's the contemporary issues class with, you know, where we kind of learn about the history of the political state of Spain and why, you know, they have the issues they do now. And that's cool. But it's been a really difficult class to follow through because, so my professor, he has basically been using AI for way too much of the learning process, the teaching process. And it seems like he's on vacation and we are having to do all this work while he kind of puts together the lessons as we go, like rather than having it planned out before. The amount of times he's been like, oh yeah, I forgot to do something, or I haven't done it yet. It's just like, why? It's a month-long class. It can't be that hard to just map it out. And it is the first year they're doing this. The fuck? It is the first year of contemporary issues in Spain being the class topic. But still, I mean, how could it can't be that hard to not use AI. Also, one of the issues we learn about is like, if you know anything about Spain, they fucking hate tourists, they hate Airbnb, they're kind of having the same issue we're having in the US. However, it's worse because Spain is smaller. And my professor is staying in an Airbnb for the entire month while teaching us about Spain hating Airbnbs and it being a political issue here. And not just a political issue, like it is ruining the economy here because people can't get houses the same way we can't in the US. And it's just like, how could you, it's just so ignorant. And so yeah, me and my fellow classmates, we kind of lit his ass up in the spot evaluation, which I kind of feel bad. I was a bit harsh, but at the same time, it's like, it can't be that fucking hard. Anyways, he lost his phone, which is ironic. But I mean, to put the whole AI shit into perspective, one of my classmates accidentally left their passport in Madrid with their partner. And the classmate, you know, was like, hey, how do I fix this issue? Can I get my passport mailed to me? Which I think is what is happening. And my professor goes, let me pull up my thought assistant. And he pulls up Google Gemini. Instead of just, like, this is his 10th trip or 9th trip, you know, 9 years of this. And he has to pull up Thought Assistant, Gemini. I mean, the fact that he had the audacity. Okay, if he said, I'm going to pull up, you know, Google and look it up. Okay, whatever. But I'm going to pull up my Thought Assistant, are we dead ass? So it's been really hard.
It's up.
Gracias.
No, of course.
So yeah, it's been really hard to focus in that class, and you know, it's been hard to take it seriously. I mean, we're not allowed to use AI, but he's doing it in the presentations, he's doing it in the handouts. It's literally him just reading off an AI printed thing for his lecture, which we can't see that, by the way, so. And my professor's a white guy, and that's fine. Obviously, I mean, I'm a fucking white guy. But his accent is like, hola clase, voy a probar La pizza que está aquí. Like, bro. Here is the barbecue pizza, by the way. Shit looks bus. But the thing is that, like, I'm getting better understanding native speakers, and I find it harder to understand him now. Like, at first it was the opposite way, because, you know, it's easier to hear someone who speaks like me in my normal voice, like, hola clase, voy a probar la pizza. No accent. And it usually would make it easier, but now it's getting harder to understand. It's been pretty hard. I don't understand, like, a lot of what he says. Neither do my classmates. So it's been an interesting process, to say the least, of figuring out how to navigate this class with arguably one of my worst professors in my college career, my university career. And we're, you know, an accredited university, and it's like he's half-assing it. Anyways, I'm gonna go for, this is pretty big for a mini, I'd say. Like, this is obviously more personal size. I mean, it's pretty tiny slices, but pretty big pizza overall. So, 3, 2, 1, in my mouth. I don't think they added the chicken that I asked for, but as long as I don't get charged for it, I don't care. Chicken would have been fire on it, but it's perfectly okay. It has ham, basil, cheese, barbecue. You saw it in the menu. But yeah, and then this is finals week now, and literally in class today, he was, like, we asked him, so, like, how are things gonna work and all this, and it kind of just explained it to it. He explained it to us on the spot, like he was coming up with what is happening on the spot, not him having it planned all out. Like, he had to change all these. He can never give a clear answer because he doesn't fucking know half the time. Like, we ask him something and then he has to figure something out, and he's like, oh, we'll do this. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna work. Oh, we'll do this, and it's word fucking salad. Palabra ensalada. And the barbecue sauce is pretty good. But yeah, I find it rather ridiculous, and it's changed, you know, outside of that, the trip has been awesome, but his lack of communication and planning and, you know, just academic punctuality is just really ruining a certain side of this experience. But it's whatever, we got 1 week left. I was wanting to do more food reviews while I was here in Spain, but I realized that, like, the stereotype that their food is bland is, like, kind of true in a way. I'm not gonna lie, I hate to say it, but their food is usually really bland. And I don't mean like pizza and sushi, I mean like the Spanish cuisine, like paella, for example. Like, paella is what they're known for, and it is their best like food by far, their best dish. But even that is like just average in comparison to what the world has to offer. And a lot of the homestay meals that me and my classmates have been having can be pretty fucking bland, and like they love to make bocadillos. A bocadillo is just like a sandwich. I mean, just a sub, really. But, you know, sometimes it, like, not for me. Mine's usually like meat and cheese, and it's like pretty decent. Like, not too much going on, but it's whatever. I like mine. I eat mine. But I have friends who sometimes get like weenie sandwiches or like chicken tender sandwiches, which like actually is pretty good, but you know, when they like open it, look at it, it like looks kind of sus. And a lot of the Spain cuisine, a lot of the Spanish cuisine is just like a few separate things mixed together. For example, like they have tortilla, which is basically quiche, but with potatoes. It's just fucking egg and potato, maybe some cheese, maybe. But most meals are like, you know, potato and meat, meat and egg, bread and meat, bread and egg. Like sometimes they have tortilla bocadillos, like some of my classmates. It's literally just egg and potato inside bread. Like, is this the fucking 1600s? I mean, that's a pretty Victorian era meal. I don't know when the fucking Victorian era was, so me saying 1600s is out of my ass. But yeah, it's made it hard for me to do like local cuisine food reviews because I tried the best there is already. So I already tried paella. We did a little cooking class, and that was fun. But even with like, that was the best Spanish like cuisine I've had, and still had some interesting choices, like leaving the chicken bone in the meal that you know, scoop. It's like a bunch of rice and, you know, other things, and it's like the bone, you know, they spread apart and get pretty little, and so now I have to like scoop around these bones. But it's like, there's other ways to take the bone out and keep the flavor of the bone in. And like, there's just a lot of questionable choices, I'd say, with local cuisine, but I don't know. You can see my hair is getting pretty long. This is about the longest I've ever had it. And I'm debating on growing out my hair. You know, just see what happens. Like, my hair is pinned straight, but you know, it curls when it's like long. So maybe it'll curl, probably not, but we'll see. Also, like, I have such long hair now that like, I can't not feel chopped without wearing a hat. And, you know, I packed 3 sets of contacts for this trip. One was the one I was wearing on, like, before the trip, you know, and brought with me. And then 2 backup pairs to last me the whole month. These are 1 month long contacts. You know, I take them out each night, put them in, you know, each day that I want to wear them. But one of my contacts just, like when I was in the ocean, it just fell out of my eye. I don't know. I went under, I came back up, and I was blind in one eye. Like, not blind, but, you know, just fuzzy as hell in this one. And then the other pair, I just go to put in one day, and I get it on my finger, and it's just ripped in half. Don't know where the other half went. And so I just had to throw away the extra, you know, contact that doesn't have. I'm not gonna wear one contact. So yeah, like, a part of feeling chopped with my long hair is the fact that I can only wear my glasses. Like, wearing my glasses, you know, one day out of the week is fine. But usually, like, after a couple of days, I just start to feel sluggish and like heavy on my base, and, you know, it's just overstimulating half the time. And it makes me feel fucking chopped. That means I'll have to get more when I get back, because I'm completely out. Those are my last pairs, and I used them all up on this trip. which is ass, but it's okay. Like, they were supposed to last me 2 more months, like maybe till the end of August. Didn't happen, but it's whatever. Blew through them in like 2 weeks. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm lucky enough to even have glasses. The pizza's soft, but not too crunchy. Not too crunchy, not too soft. I will say the barbecue sauce is a team player, which is good for the star of the team. And the crust is nice and like dusty, how like Italian pizza usually is. Like scratch artisan pizza, whatever. This last weekend, my friends and I, we went to this beach called El Soler. It's maybe like 20 minutes south, not far. But the water in the ocean, like we're on the other side of the port, so like there's just like cargo, export, import, port. And the Malvarosa beach that's north of that port, it's not bad. It's way better than Texas beaches by far. You know, you can still see pretty well into the water. But on the other side of the port in El Soler, the water was like fucking clear, like insane. Like I could see my feet all the way down, which is not very often. An ocean has that, at least where I'm from. So yeah, that was very nice, very magical. First time we've done swimming in like the middle of the day as opposed to the end of the day when it's like cooler. Yeah, and then after that we went to this restaurant. It was like there's only 2 little restaurants there, so you're kind of like forced to pick either one, you know, illusion of choice. And we sit down for this one, and like I saw the menu and I was like, yeah, it's expensive. And then we ended up just getting 2 pitchers of Tinto de Verano. There was like 8 of us, and so we cleared those pitchers pretty easily. It was $42 fucking dollars. Like me and 2 of my friends, like we had our own pitcher, you know, one of the 2, like it was just, one of them drank 2 cups, like 2 normal sized glasses. I drank 1 glass, and other classmate drank 1 glass as well. That singular pitcher was $21 just for 4 little glasses. And it wasn't strong either. Like, it might have been Fachada Lada, which Fachada is facade. Lada is like laid, like lemonade or marmalade or whatever. I don't know. It's just a word I came up with. But yeah, it may not have been alcoholic. So we ended up leaving without getting food. Thank fuck, because I would have broken the bank. It is getting easier to eat the sushi. The first bite though was like hella creamy cheesy. We also this weekend went to the aquarium. Very cool. They had a beluga whale, penguins, a bunch of jellyfish, sea crabs, or like sea spiders, like, you know, the really spider looking like crabs. A bunch of different fish. It's pretty cool. Maybe not my favorite aquarium I've ever been to. I didn't see everything. We didn't have enough time to see everything. But it was still pretty good. I can confidently say that like the penguin, like the viewing, actually, I mean, there was one cool like long glass wall and you can see into the penguins exhibit. But, you know, most of them are just chilling on the rocks rather than swimming or anything. But I'm hoping I got good pictures on my film camera. That would be tough. My last film roll that I took with that camera didn't come out well at all. Only one of the 27 pictures actually made it through. But the film roll that I shot it on expired in 2001, and I was curious to see, you know, what it looked like or would it even come out. And I also fucked up the process of getting it back in the canister. I think the camera is like the winder to get it back in the canister is like real messed up. Or well, not messed up really, it just doesn't pop up for easy release, and like when you turn it, it doesn't really like do it that well. So I'm debating on whether or not to have the guy that I get my film developed with, have him just give him the camera so he can take it out properly. And I'd be down to give him like a little $5 or less fee for that, because that really is a big part of whether or not the pictures come out. Also, like a week or 2 weeks ago, on one of the weekends, me and a small group of friends, we went to Barcelona. That was tough. I really liked it there, but it was kind of like Madrid almost. I mean, they're the two biggest cities. We saw the Pablo Picasso Museum. It was the only one that was, you know, functioning during Pablo Picasso's lifetime. And so he was able to actually like donate pieces himself, rather than pieces have to be, you know, bought or, you know, donated through other sources. But yeah, that museum was pretty cool. It's very easy to navigate. The Del Prado Museum in Madrid was a maze. Like, it seemed almost impossible to, like, look at everything that museum had. I didn't go to the second floor at all. I went to the bottom two. Took hours. I was the last one out of the museum out of my group. I'm trying to think. We didn't really do too much in Barcelona, but it was really nice to get away. We stayed in this hostel, and it was kind of like, you know, living in a university dorm. You know, we have our own room, but then there's shared bathroom spaces, a shared common space of like a kitchen so you can cook, you know, TVs, you can watch World Cup, which we did. It was really chill. You know, it's really cool to have common spaces. You know, even if you're not, we didn't really talk to anyone, but, you know, it was cool to be around other people, you know, and most of them spoke English. And so it was like cool, you know, just, even if you don't really interact with the community, you know, still having that community there is a big part of like comfort and really adds to the experience. Yeah. I have 2 slices left. Like, I might be able to take this home, but I also might be able to finish it. Like, I might be able to throw down right now. I think I'll take it to go, though, just to play it safe. I also have more crust to eat. And 2 more slices of sushi. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to give an overall rating. Well, actually, no, because I don't know the price yet in total. The mini pizza was around like €9. The sushi around 7. It's about €16. It's close to like $18. For pizza with leftovers plus a full roll of sushi, that's pretty good. Once again, like I said in the last review, a lot of things are much cheaper here. And so that's nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut back with the final rating after getting the price and all that. It's just, you know, it's part of the thing. Olvidé hablar sobre mis zapatos. I got some New Balances. They're basically Samba adjacent, but I fucking hate Sambas. I fucking hate Samba too, but because he's ass. Anyways, and he's a fucking creep. But yeah, they're Samba adjacent, which, you know, every shoe nowadays is. And I spent, you know, I went to stores and stores and stores trying to find shoes that weren't Sambas or some ugly bullshit or Air Force Ones or Pandas, you know. It took for fucking ever, but I finally found these. And there were like better colorways online, but I think they're better colorways by themselves. But if you put those shoes with outfits, they wouldn't be as good as these shoes with other outfits. That's why I really liked my yellow shoes that I had before this. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay. Got my pizza. I'm about to go watch. The total was $16.28. Pretty good for, you know, a whole roll of sushi and pizza. Yeah, I'm walking back now. I'd have to say final rating overall, I'd say, so I think I have the sushi at like a 6.3, which is kind of low, but I don't think the sushi was made poorly. It's just like not my kind of thing. Not my usual go-to sushi. I just picked, you know, something that looked pretty good, which, you know, obviously I was like a little bit wrong, but that's okay. I just think I ordered something that wasn't gonna, you know, knock my socks off. So, you know, nothing on the restaurant or anything in that regard. The pizza, solid 8.4. Pretty good. I know bad critiques. My favorite kind of pizza is, you know, the American shitty sloppy kind where you can fold it in half and fuck your own face. That's a bit gruesome. But anyways, the price is $16.28. So I'd have to give, you know, probably an 8.4 to the place, 8.5. I liked it a lot. Very friendly. Wait staff, which, I mean, I just talked to the one guy. But yeah, he asked me where I was from and told him just Texas, Dallas, and here to, you know, learn Spanish, more Spanish. But yeah, so that was Yo soy sushi y pizza. I am sushi and pizza is what that means. For those who don't know what that means. But yeah, good food review. I'd have to say I like it. I don't remember what I gave the other food review, but I have to say I like what I got more. But, you know, what I got today was a lot more interesting than what I got last time in my last food review. So, not the most fair comparison. That's what's interesting about these food reviews is that one day I'll get sushi, the next day I'll get a burrito. And so, when I rate them, you know, one might be a higher rating than the other. But it's not necessarily a fair comparison because That car just ran over glass. Anyways, it's not necessarily a fair comparison because, you know, it's completely different foods. However, if I was making only food reviews for like burgers or burritos or pizza, then it'd be a lot easier to compare and contrast. But even then, I'd still have to do, you know, the same kind of burger, same kind of pizza. But yeah, and these aren't supposed to be too serious. These are literally just fun things I like to do just as a hobby. So I'm not expecting anyone to, like, you know, take these too seriously. But yeah, anyways, American Twiznits. I will see y'all in the next fucking video.